Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pub Table Racers, episode number 52. We have reached 1 year of doing this show since it started.
Or 52 weeks.
52 weeks, yeah. Hang on, we do the math on that. Yeah. My name is Tim Backman. The witty guy next to me is
Warren Russell.
And we are the Pub Table Racers. We have a big show coming up tonight. Before we get started, Warren, why do we have a bucket of beer in front of us?
Because we need some type of tasty beverage to consume while we're talking
great stuff,
smack on our show.
Informative, entertaining, and what's the other thing we say? Fun. That's it.
Keep it fun.
Here you go. First of all, cheers. And cheers to us for 1 year.
And Miller High Life because of Bobby Allison.
Right. I just saw him yesterday, doing good.
And because I'm from Milwaukee and I've been drinking Miller High Life since I could tie my shoes.
Thank God for you, otherwise they might close. That's perfect. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about Daytona road course racing. Talk about our 1 year anniversary. Appreciate all of you that bought merchandise, our sponsors, the YouTube subscribers. If I can say that. It is free to subscribe. Someone pointed out to me that maybe you should tell people it's free, so we did. So thanks to all of you, and we got better things coming up, which we're going to talk about in a couple weeks. We're excited about. And our guest tonight, coming off their Daytona 500 win. It was a first for him. It was first for his driver, Michael McDowell. Clayton Hughes is going to join us, so I'm looking forward to that. The best part about this, Warren, neither of us have met him until tonight, so we're all going to learn something together. We don't have any inside scoop. Maybe some of his teammates or past co-workers might slide a story in that we can feed off of there.
I got my neighbor, Ryan,
yeah?
who actually works on the 19th, said this is going to be a good show.
Okay. Well, there was a good response to having him on. So, all right, let's talk about Daytona road course racing.
Yeah.
Truck race. I thought it was insane how they went like right after stop rating. They said let's go, and they cut them loose, and then they had to make the decision between the tires as the track started
wet
to
tires,
dry.
dry tires, and minor wearing out. And there was a guy who actually came in, got slicks, then went back in, put reins back on. And no, I think that's perfect. I think that's the sport needs a shot in the arm like that to switch it up a little bit.
And kept you tuned in. Xfinity race the next night. The kid, Ty Gibbs, man, 18 years old, his very first Xfinity race.
Right.
Went up against the reigning champion, your guy.
But he had a hole in his nose. I mean, not to say that
sure
it wasn't hurting him that much, but it was hurting him.
Yeah.
I mean, that having that gone keeps that tire cool.
Yep.
And the brakes and everything else, so you don't necessarily need all them hoses and all of that what they cut off, but still, it was hurting him a little bit, but that kid still won.
Still won. First one, and joins a group of Dale Earnhardt and a couple others. He's the fifth driver in history, Xfinity, to win his very first race. Pretty good.
I think he's the first, believe it or not, driver to win his first that didn't have a cup start.
Oh, okay. Even bigger.
I think I've seen that stat.
Okay. There you go.
That he did not have a...
But he still did not break Joey Logano's record for being the youngest.
For being the youngest.
Yeah, so Joey still has that. Dave Summerfield, greetings from balmy Milwaukee, 46 degrees.
Oh, wow. Maybe some of that white stuff will melt, David.
Tom Beatty, our number one fan in New Jersey, says if this is 3D video, I'd reach out and grab one of those beers. You know what, Tom? You need to get down here, sit right here, and have one with us.
Look at this, Tom.
Look at that. Look at that.
Got it on.
Yep.
Tom sent us hats.
I have a thing. I don't wear camel, and if I do, there's a certain woman I know. If I wear camel, she goes, "That's it. You broke your deal." So, but it's cool though.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's camel. It's just something. That's all. Hey, we all have.
Does it have to do with that game you want to play, Army?
No, it's not the game.
I can't.
No, you can't say. No, we made it 1 year. We want to go for two. Okay.
I can't tell that joke.
Thank God. All right, and then the Cup race. A lot of leaders in that one. A lot of different.
A lot of comers and goers.
Yes, like
Chase Elliott did dominate though.
Right.
Dominate.
He did, and it's like he was checked out 2-3 seconds at a time. And then, as racing goes, in the middle of it,
you don't necessarily want to be the lead. The fastest car doesn't always win. We all love.
Right.
That's part of the sport. We don't want to see the fastest car win every week.
Right.
We want to see the strategy. This is the whole reason that we're going to these road races.
Right.
And he comes in, he pits, Joey stays out,
right.
and leads a lot of it. There was other people that stayed out. He ended up going to 10th or 12th.
Right.
Whatever it was. But the young man who won, I believe, also pitted and got tires.
Yep.
So it's just where you're at and how you can get to the front once you do get tires.
There was a lot of oh shit moments and no shit moments. And
Right.
the no shit at the end was Christopher Bell. Like, no shit, he just passed Logano and got the win. 2 first-time winners. 2 playoff spots of the 16 are taken up. Guys were like, holy shit about that. Like, would you pencil them in at the beginning of the year? No.
Two playoff spots to me is the biggest thing.
Right?
There's going to be 2 bigger names,
Right.
bigger than the 2 that are in,
Right. Yes, exactly.
that are not going to be in that
Exactly,
in that
because-
position.
So here's a stat. Christopher Bell drives for Levine Family Racing. Michael McDowell drove for. So does DeBenedetto win this weekend?
I hope he wins sooner or
Sometime.
later.
He's knocking on that door.
Honestly, he's one of the ones on the outside looking in,
Yes.
because he squeaked by getting in last year,
Right.
and these guys that squeaked by and got in,
No squeakers.
they're no
Squeaking this year. No squeaking allowed.
The 2 squeakers just took them spots
That's
up.
right. Now they're like the King Kongers because they were in
Yeah.
Victory Lane. Shall we?
We
It's
shall.
time. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, our very special guest. Off the Daytona 500. This man's been working in racing for 41 years. It was his 40th Daytona 500. Not only was it Michael McDowell's first win, also his. If we had a big crowd here, I'm sure they go ape shit crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Clayton Hughes. Clayton, come on and join
He
us.
is an Xfinity champion, I believe. A Nextel champion.
Yeah? No, it's
Right?
First of all, thanks for joining us. How
Yeah.
you doing?
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Did you want your water or anything? You good there?
I'm
All
good.
right, just making
I'm
sure.
good.
All right.
All right,
good.
so
I'm good.
we appreciate you being on. This is the first time both Warren and I have met you. We've known the name. It's like
We've seen you in the garage.
Right.
I mean, forever.
Yeah. So Tracy Hutzapple, she's the one that threw you in the name at me. And I gotta give credit. Most of these guys, like even some of these lower tier Xfinity and truck drivers, when I reach out to them, you gotta go to the PR person and this and that. I send him this long text explaining what we do. He goes, hell yeah! I'm like, I like this guy. That's all I had to get was a hell yeah, I'll be on. That's it. Next week's guest is Billy Wilburn. And then after that, we have a new sponsor coming up. There'll be a guest. We'll tell you about that. But so we're, being on. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you.
All right.
On to
Glad to
Clayton.
be here. Glad to be here.
First of all,
Let's
tell
do it.
us how it felt to finally get a Daytona 500.
Oh God, it's it's for me, I started in 1980 in this sport, and first race I ever went to, I was 12 years old. I sat on top of Sears Craftsman little bitty that we all probably remember.
Absolutely.
Darrell Brunch, crew chief, this little kid from Corpus Christi, Texas, is driving the car named Terry Labonte.
Got it?
And I'm doing lap times. Hell, we win the race.
Right.
And Bob Labonte, Terry and Bobby's daddy, picks Bobby up, puts him in the car, picks me up, puts me in the car. It's when everybody rode on the cars.
Right.
Back when it was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
Very unsafe, but it was fun. And that's what we
yeah,
did.
who
We drank
cares?
out of the water hose, we rode on the cars,
Right,
we got in the
right.
back of the
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
Sat backwards.
You got to the racetrack early to get a Budweiser can out of the trash can to sit the airbag on.
There you go.
So it wouldn't roll around.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what we did. And, I was hooked. I mean, I was hooked from then on. And then
Can I real quick, where are you from?
Lexington, North Carolina.
Okay.
Okay.
Lexington.
Original.
All right, perfect.
Lexington.
Born and raised in Thomasville, North Carolina.
Sure.
But I live in Lexington now. So
Okay.
but
We can tell you weren't from our neck of the woods.
No.
Well, no, I got, so because where we're at, I have an accent here,
Right.
and he doesn't. And
I do.
Yeah, I got some kind of accent. Everybody tells me.
Well, I moved down. See, you do. When I moved down here, I picked up another syllable.
He said it was going to go away. When I've been here for 23 years.
Yeah.
It went away.
Midday,
I went from Tim to Tim. I picked up another. Tim.
All right, I'm sorry, Clayton.
Oh no, that's fine.
I got a break. We got to do something.
So you want to do it?
We got to do the commercial.
Let's do the commercial.
Well, we got
Let's
40
do it.
because you're gonna roll. I know it. I gotta get it.
Yeah, we don't want
We
to
got,
stop.
we got a
you.
lot. We got a lot of stuff.
No, and you
going
do it.
on.
I'm actually after talking before the show. I'm looking forward to what you have to say.
Absolutely.
All right, so this show is brought to you by our number one sponsor, Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms. Brad Doan, great sponsor, supporter of the show, makes it happen on our website. So go to Morrisville, North Carolina, Brawley School Road. Check him out. Spring's coming. He's got the best furniture out there you need. Outdoor furniture.
Then we'll
games.
need some.
There you go.
Good.
Go see him.
I'm in.
Hey,
We
and
coming.
tell him Pub Table Racers sent you.
Can I
And-
say it quick? I didn't even know spring was breathing heavy.
Oh my God.
Come on, dude.
Wow, we're only 11
I
minutes
gotta
in.
drop them little ones in there.
And we've lasted a year. Good thing we can tell we went to 23 years. Yeah.
Well, I'm building a lake house, so I need furniture.
There you go.
There
So spring is coming.
Just saying, Racer 70, you'll take care of it. Also, the garage shop, Aaron Brown, those guys out in Denver, some of the great things they're doing. We'll talk more about that, more details, what's going on there. And Warren, who's that behind you right there?
This is race car junk.
Racing junk.
Racingjunk.com.
Right.
They got everything from soup to nuts.
Racing related,
Racing
car
related, motorcycle related, four-wheeler related.
drag racing. You
Whatever.
can buy a shop, you can buy a car, a hauler,
Right.
T-shirt, all kinds of stuff. So go see them. They've been a great partner. So, all right. So you're hooked. And where did the spotting come in?
Well, I was, so in 84,
Yep.
Turtle Barn Race Championship, Billy Hagan, Piedmont Airlines.
You're with
I
them?
supported that
Okay.
team.
So you have now you have a championship to your credit.
And so then things keep going on, and my mom would not let me go to all the races because of school.
How old were you? How old were you then?
So let's see, that was
Pretty close to being a
84, I was
senior.
14, yeah. Something about school. I don't know why school was so big and important, but my mom thought it was kind of an important deal.
Yeah. All right. Moms like this.
You know, moms usually win.
Yeah.
You know, so
They got the fluff.
anyway, proceeding forward, Richard Petty starts Petty Enterprise back up.
Right.
So that was what, 87?
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, 87, the Atlanta 500, Robert Kellicut's the gas man, and gets caught on and got burned up pretty bad.
All right.
And that Christmas, Dale Inman is at family's Christmas gatherings, and it's like, hey, would you be interested in gas and race car? I'm like, sure, I'll replace the guy that got burned up. You know, I mean, there ain't much danger to this, you know?
Wow.
So-
Okay, law of averages. That's out of the way. Yeah.
So I gassed, started being a fuel guy or gas man for Petty Enterprise, and
How cool is that working for Richard Petty?
awesome.
Can you? I mean, I tell them.
Well, it ain't Richard Petty, it's Dale Inman.
Okay.
Right,
But
yeah.
still,
When you're around Dale Inman, the stories,
I'm sure.
and then Eddie Wood together, and oh my God.
There's two,
I
there's
mean,
two books
them
to be written right
stories
there.
just go for
And the
hours.
handshake, right?
You want to get on your knees.
That's right. I'm getting at. I got bit by that one time.
Oh yeah. So anyway, working with Dale Inman, and so Barry Dotson comes along and starts up this new team called Team 3 Racing.
yeah.
90, 91, whatever it was. And Barry's like, hey, I want you to come with me. And it's like, they just won a championship with Rusty, 89.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
Oh yeah. Looks good, doesn't
this
it?
is looking pretty good.
Greener grass. You thought.
There was
But you know, in
Raymond
life,
Beetle. Raymond Beetle? Is it? Am I right? Raymond?
no, Sam McMahon was Team 3.
Oh, okay.
Raymond Beetle
Which-
owned Rusty's team.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The Kodiak.
Oh, yeah.
27,
Okay.
yeah. So I left Petty Enterprise to go with Barry, and you know, I mean, like they always say, the grass is green on the other side just because it's been damn painted. You know,
Right, exactly.
So, but I mean, Barry was like one of my best friends. His
Yeah.
two kids, T and Trey, which got
Right.
killed in a car accident, and it devastated all of our families. Very, very tragic moment there. But hung with Barry for a few years, and then Barry ended up going with Darrell Waltrip, and so I followed him along there. And my spotting started in '89 with a guy named Mickey York. I know y'all don't know that.
No.
Goodies Dash series.
Okay.
Oh wow, the dash, the crash.
Remember that?
The crash. I mean, the dash series.
Those are the
Yeah.
four-cylinder cars.
Those little
Yeah,
cars. They
little
cut loose-
four-cylinder,
And they cut loose on
Pontiac.
Daytona. Oh my
With
god.
Pontiac Sun
Yeah, yeah.
cars, Toyota Celicas.
We used to time. We used to
What
time
the hell
the
was the
calendar.
Ford?
Wasn't it a probe? Was it a probe?
Yeah.
No.
I don't remember what Ford had. I know it was Pontiac Sunfire.
I remember
That's so weird.
Sunfire. Yep. And I
So,
So you were that?
so anyway, I spotted for Mickey because I was in Daytona and he didn't have to have anybody down there.
Right.
And then my best friend in the world, which was my doctor, Doc Brewer. I don't know if y'all remember
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Remember
I
him?
know the name.
So I was like, if you're going to race, I'm spotting for you because I got to keep you alive. Because you keep
Couldn't
me
say.
alive.
Right, exactly.
And so I started. So we go to Daytona, and we're spotting. I'm spotting for Doc, and oh my God, what's Ernie Irvin's dad's name?
Mr. Urban.
Vic.
Irvin.
Yeah.
So
Irvin,
Vic's
yeah.
supposed to spot for DW in the Xfinity race on Saturday.
Okay.
We got sick.
Ooh.
So we're sitting in the lounge, me, DW, Doc Brewer, and a couple other people, and Daryl's like, well, hell, what am I going to do now? I ain't going to spot her. And
You went.
Doc's like, well, you got the best one set. And Daryl's like, you spot? I thought you was a gas man. I said, well, I want to keep him alive because he keeps me alive.
Right.
And he me more. So Daryl says, everybody out of the lounge, but you. And I'm like, oh my God, this ain't good. And he shuts the door and he says, son, I'm gonna tell you something right now, boy. Been doing this a long time. Speaks, it's like God.
Yeah, it's coming from a higher
Yeah.
Right.
power.
And he says, I want you to remember one thing, boy. There's 39 idiots out there trying to beat me. I'm in that seat. I'm seat belted in. It's hot. And the only communication I got to the world is that little bitty button on
And
the
this is
steering
just at
wheel.
89, right? So you're
So no, this was like 92.
92, but you're
It's
still
93,
only maybe you're in your
93.
20s,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I'm sitting there shaking.
yeah, with Darrell Walter.
With
yeah.
Darryl Walter talking to you.
Right.
And he says, so whatever I say to you, it goes in one ear and out the other.
Right. Don't get your feelings hurt. That's
Exactly.
what
And
he's
I'm
saying.
like, yes, sir.
That's a good
So
lesson.
I'm getting ready to go spot for Darryl Walter, 3-time champion. Oh my God. Nervous.
Right.
Don't
Right.
even describe
And
it.
where was this at?
Daytona.
Oh, Daytona.
First
Okay.
race,
No big
first
deal.
race
Yeah,
out of
sure.
the chute.
Is it the
And,
500? Or is
No,
it
the Xfinity.
Okay, yeah.
Bush, it was Bush
Okay,
Series.
yeah, got it. Good, perfect.
Pretty easy to spot
Yeah,
there.
sure.
You know,
It's just, you know,
need some
somebody-
binoculars. And,
So the funniest,
clear.
the funniest thing ever happened was, it's my first time on spotter stand with the prima donnas.
right.
We
Right.
probably just got in trouble.
No,
No, you're good. Just don't name
No,
them.
because you didn't single anybody out.
Okay, prima donnas.
Like who?
Yeah.
So,
I'm kidding. Don't answer that.
so I get up there. Well, there's this number 8 car.
Oh yeah.
This big girls under caution.
But that's
DW pushes
an
button.
Xfinity car.
Yes, exactly.
In the
It
8.
was a Bush Series car.
Right.
But we're
So-
good with saying Bush.
Bush.
So
Xfinity guy.
we're going to go with the number 8 car, and that was a Philmar Tulsi with Jeff Burton driving.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
I don't know any of these people.
Was that the damn Maxwell House car? With,
No,
Okay.
he had a blue, maybe Rebestus.
Ray Bestis could be. But yes.
So Darryl comes over to Eddie and says, Clayton, you go tell that damn
Find
spotter,
him. Yeah.
if that son of a
Bitch.
hits me one more time, I'm going to whoop his, and you better whoop
Yes.
his spotter.
Ass.
Well, I don't
We
know
can
who
say
these
a couple
people
of
are.
them.
I don't know who these people
We don't
are.
drop that bomb.
So I go over to this guy that's got this uniform
Right,
on.
Yeah, well, because he's up there with the uniform.
Yeah, sure.
That's the owner.
Oh, yeah. Filmar?
Yes.
Nice.
So
All
was
right,
it
so-
Phil or Mar? Was it?
Whatever.
It
So
wasn't.
I'm.
Well, I know.
So you ain't gonna remember. I just come out of high school.
Jeez, yeah, you got to.
Football player.
Right.
Not looking like I look now. I had muscles. I was.
None of
You're a
us.
little buff.
I go up and grab this guy.
Oh, good.
Darryl Walter just told me to tell you.
It couldn't have been Gil Mar. Gil was probably down
No,
there.
it wasn't Gil Martin. It was the owner, Phil Martolsi.
Well,
Okay.
Philmar, Gil.
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But go ahead.
So,
So-
you grab the guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, Darryl Walter just told me to tell you,
Right.
if your driver hits his car one more time, had no idea it was the owner.
He said.
Well, I think he was pretty much like, this guy's going to kill me.
Okay. Perfect.
Because that's pretty much the way I went to
Okay.
it. You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was my beginning in the spot. And so then, I started spotting the Bush series for DW and gassing on Sundays, and so that's kind of how I got started in the spotting. And because my teacher of spotting was Red Dog,
Okay.
Buddy
Oh,
Barnes.
God, yeah, Buddy
Yeah.
Barnes.
Okay,
There's
Buddy-
a legendary. There's some stories
exactly.
there. Funniest
Red
moment you
Dog.
ever had with him? Funniest moment you ever had
Can't
with
tell
him?
you.
Okay. Pick one you can tell.
They ain't one.
Okay.
We had a beer one time.
Yeah, we had a beer one
I've had a
time.
couple of them.
That's all you say.
That's good.
Because I got a couple guys like, we
Yeah.
just had a beer.
We said that's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a beer.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. Red Dog's pretty intense.
He's
Oh,
very
yeah.
intense. There's
Yeah.
there's 0 to 60, and that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Pretty much about
You got
zero-
him way out. Now
I'm
he's
sorry,
got
no,
Red
go ahead.
Dog
Okay,
stories
sorry.
run through his head.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a bull.
All right. So,
So
Like, should I go get the Bible?
no, we're good. We're good. All right, back to it. We get sidetracked there, but this guy's had such a career. We got to touch upon all of it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So then, it's like from being taught by Red Dog and on and on and on. In 2004, Joe Garone calls me up and says, "Hey, I'm starting up a new team out in Denver, Colorado."
And Joe Garone is. Just
He
so
was-
people at home know.
Joe Garone, he was the general manager. Well, actually, I worked for Joe at Bill Elliott's in 2000, 99, 2000.
You've worked with Hall of Famers.
Oh, my
You have a
God.
Hall of Fame career.
Dude, I worked for
I'm just like
Richard
listening.
Petty.
Okay.
Darrell Walter,
Right, two.
Jeff Bodine, Bill Elliott.
3. That's good. That's good right there.
Jesus.
Martin Truex.
Martin
I mean,
Truex.
but-
Yeah, Martin
right.
Truex.
I mean-
So eventually.
Joe Nemechek, Sterling Marlin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jimmy Spencer. I mean, shit, the list could go on and on for hours here. If I ever sit down, I had a show. I was on Sirius XM the other
Yeah,
night with
sure.
Jeff Hammond,
Yeah.
and Jeff was like, "How many wins you think you've probably been a part of?" And I went, "Well, if I asked the crew chiefs I worked for how many wins they got, that'd be pretty damn big."
Right.
I mean, you take Dale Inman,
Sure. Huge.
Barry Dodson, and Jeff Hammond. How many wins you think them three's got? Plus championship.
Sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's Hall of Fame.
So yeah, wow, it was
Okay.
awesome. But anyway, so
Joe Garone
Garone
calls you.
yes, and says, "Hey, I'm starting up this race team out in Denver, Colorado." And I went, "I ain't moving." He said, "No, I want you to stay in North Carolina and take care of everything in North Carolina for me." And I went, "Perfect. I'm in. Good deal."
Right.
And
Perfect.
that was 04. And that was a 14 years of unbelievable racing of my life. We started something where we bought the first nut and bolt
Yeah. Right.
and took it to a championship.
Yeah.
And everybody
Agreed.
said,
That's
Agreed.
huge.
everybody said you cannot do it
That couldn't
out
be
of
done.
North Carolina. It cannot be
Right.
done. You can't do it. You'll
If-
never win a
if
race.
You're not here.
You'll never win a race. Well, September the 11th, or September whatever it was in 2011, I think it's September 7th, 2011, this little kid named Regan Smith drove that 78
Right.
right straight into victory lane in
In
Darlington,
Darlington.
which is
Toughest
my
track.
favorite track.
Toughest track
So
on
that
the
was
circuit.
second victory at Darlington.
Got it. Perfect.
And Barney, oh my God, that just lit him up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was all in
Yeah.
then. He,
Barney
Oh,
Vista.
he was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so then, we keep going. We
You got
we got Kurt.
Yeah.
We got Kurt.
And you were affiliated with RCR.
Right.
We had an alliance with you guys because I was there when that was
Right.
going on, and because I remember, Pete was there, Pete Rondo,
Pete Rondo.
and I worked with Pete at DEI,
Correct.
and it was actually a pretty good relationship as far as we were. I'm going to say this: we were mediocre. We weren't the Hendrick or the Gibbs, but we were a stepping stone for you guys to get you to the next level,
Correct.
to get you running constantly in the top 10.
Correct.
That's all I'll put it.
Correct. And that's exactly the way to put it.
Yeah.
So, with Kurt, man, we should have won. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 races we should have won, and we didn't. And you know, I can't blame Kurt. You know, he's like, I don't know what his age was, but I mean, whatever it was.
Right, he had a lot going on.
30s.
Yeah,
We can just say he had a lot going on.
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite story with him?
with Kurt.
Yeah, that you
Can't
can tell.
tell it.
I can't
Like,
tell.
come on, it gotta be one you tell. A funny one, or a moment you said, "Hey, this guy's gonna be."
Were you hot for Kurt?
No,
If you,
I did spot for him, but
Okay.
let's just move on.
no, because you know what? Here, because here's what I respect about spotters.
Yes.
Because I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of stuff on the radio, and I'd be like, I would put the radio down and I would walk away and say, guess what?
Yeah.
Have fun, SOB, I'm out. You
Right.
know?
You know, I've done that once.
You know, because some of
It's
them
funny
guys,
you say that.
some of them guys can get nasty.
So
man.
we were at Martinsville, and Kenny Wallace is driving the car, and you know how Herman can be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a little loud.
Yeah, they get a little testy.
So we were running bad, and God bless Martinsville, but you can't get out of the way though.
No.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're bad, you're bad. And so I'm like, you know, outside. He comes over the radio, and he's a smart aleck, and I went 10-4, bud. You got it on your own. I'm going to get a hot dog.
Good.
Cut the radio's off.
Right. You did.
Went down. Got me a hot dog. Coca-Cola. Eat it. Drank my Coke.
And you went back up.
And then the caution come out. I was where I could see the racetrack. Seen the caution. I turned my radio back on. I said, "Caution's out, bud."
So I spotted. I spotted in Martinsville for Ted Musgrave one time. That was my first time spotting. And then I did Jason Leffler a few times, and then David Starr. And I must have been spoiled because those guys were actually pretty, you know.
So we all know what
It's
adrenaline
good.
does. You know,
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
who's driven.
Yeah, you're locked in there.
Well, you know what adrenaline does to you. You
Yeah.
know if you suck,
Right.
your adrenaline's even worse. You're more pissed off because
Right.
you can't do anything with the car. You know, and you're gonna take it out on someone. And we all hear all of these, almost all of them.
Right.
I won't even mention the ones that I think are like way too polite, but it's like I've heard, you know, Steve Park and Dale Jr. and Michael Waltrip, you know, he was no fun on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
a lot of times,
Yeah,
you know. And
people see on TV,
He was
yeah.
no fun on the track either. You know what I mean? But
Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
I love him to death. I work for the guy. I work for the. Well, that's what you say when
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
That's a night. That's like.
Because
Well,
the
bless
A-word's
his
kind
heart.
of mean.
Right.
Some drivers really hate when you say "bless your heart."
But-
Do they? Does he?
Yeah.
He don't watch it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it. Like
Michael's Michael. You know,
Yeah.
and he's just not very
He
smart.
about put me out of my career.
Yeah.
You know.
He tries hard.
All right. So
He has nice shoes. Let's go with that.
what? We got the peanut gallery's waving over there.
Oh, I just say Michael wears nice shoes.
Okay, nice.
If you're gonna
Good.
snap your fingers, we're gonna put you on camera.
We can't, yeah. All right. Anyhow, so
What
your
that
furniture
means.
row.
Right.
You're working through. So Martin Truex comes in the
We have a guest, but
Yeah.
So
So,
we don't
wanna be
we
involved.
work with Martin during both of his
yes, when he was a very young man,
Xfinity
extremely young
championships.
man.
So Kurt leaves us,
Yeah.
and we're all devastated.
Yeah.
That because Kurt.
Now what are we gonna do?
Well, I mean, we love Kurt.
Yeah. There's a lot of talent there
The Kurt Busch that people see on TV is not the Kurt Busch
that drives a race car.
that drives the race
Yeah.
car.
Right.
I mean, I'll give you an example.
Thank you.
Kurt Busch, after he wins after he runs the Indy 500,
Right.
Right.
okay? It was, I don't know, a couple months after. He's with Chip Ganassi, right?
Yep.
I get a phone call. Look down, Kurt Busch. What the heck's he want? I answered. He's like, "Hey, bud, where you at?" And I was the parts runner. I was everything in North Carolina for Furniture Road Racing.
Right.
And I'm like, "Hey,
I like
dude."
to call it a roofer. Everything from the roof down, you did, right?
Right,
Yeah.
pretty much, yes. And I'm like, Mooresville picking up parts. Well, what you got, bud? He's like, come by my shop. I got something to give you. Okay. So I go by a shop, and he had 2 of the Indy 500 replica cars, just like it come off the racetrack.
Really?
For my 2 kids.
Oh my gosh.
Autographed
Really?
to Cole and autographed to Blake.
Nice.
And I'm like, who does this?
Yeah, and he didn't.
Now you've been in this a long time. Who
Right.
does it?
Not many.
What
Not
driver?
many.
There's,
What driver would autograph? Would
there's
get
a
it?
couple. There's a couple.
Couple
Right.
out of 50.
Yes.
A lot of them, when they move on. You're
Right.
You're in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
And he had 2 boxes sitting there and autographed on top of them. And I mean, they're priceless.
Yeah.
There's no money to buy that.
There's a few of them that you get stuff from that you go, you never expected
Sure.
to get it.
Exactly.
And that means more than
and
anything.
there's a few of them you expect to get something, and you never get nothing.
Well, like a certain champion I know that gave his crew crates of oranges for winning a championship. They're like, great. I can at least get the vodka to go with it.
Right? Did he have your address on him?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to buy some toilet paper to go along with these things.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So that's Kurt. That's
Right.
That's
All right.
the Kurt Busch.
I'd love to get him on. I think he would be awesome.
Oh my God, I love Kurt.
He's right here.
He is.
I always. I don't know. I'm going to. This is your show. Go ahead. So you're gonna.
Okay, so we're at Furniture Roll.
So-
Now we're on the trip.
So now Kurt decides he's leaving.
He's going to.
And we're all sitting there going, oh gosh.
Now
oh,
who?
But MWR is blowing up
MWR
every
just
time. Yeah,
because the Richmond.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, the
Or
poison
Mark
note and arm scratches and
Right,
all that
right.
stuff. And so
Houston
Barney,
Astros and all of
so
that.
Barney's like, you know, I think we need to get this Truex kid.
Yeah.
And we're, you know, like, well, I mean, he's won a couple races.
Absolutely.
You know, he's tasted victory.
Yep.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Yeah. And so, you know, Martin comes in and, man, we had our affiliation with RCR still.
Yep.
And we just wasn't.
So I'm going to tell you a story about this. And Martin and Paul know each other,
Menard
Menard,
Right.
really well
from DEI.
from DEI and from RCR.
That's right.
And Martin says, I'm going to tell you what, if Paul was running close to top 10 stuff, and Martin says, you give me one of his cars, and I'll run a top 5. I'll and not to take anything away from Paul, but that's how Martin. That's how Martin was. That's his drive. That's his drive. He knows drive. So we took a
and wrapped it
and wrapped it in the
Furniture
78 stuff
in RCR.
at RCR,
sure.
and he got
Then we finished 5th.
he got to run
Then
top
we
5.
finished 5th.
That's
And he
it.
says, there you
Right.
go.
That you're on 100.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know the story too.
Yeah.
So
Oh God, yeah.
we're not
So
full of
maybe
shit.
it makes
No.
No, it's like, and all of a sudden it's the lightning.
The light bulb went on.
And it's
Yeah,
like, oh my God, we can do this.
right.
And
So
then,
then you're going through.
so Newman was driving a 31.
Ryan Newman, yeah.
So I think we got one of his cars the next week
I think you did too.
and wrapped it
Yep.
and ran
Todd still there, or was Cole taken
Todd.
up? Okay, with Todd.
Todd.
Because I'm going to say this and I love Todd to death.
Todd.
barrier.
Barrier.
Okay.
Me and Todd are buddies.
Scott. Yep.
When for whatever reason, when Cole took over, it just changed. Something changed because it was like Cole got him.
Cole.
Pern
Crew
took
chief,
him
yeah.
to the next
Yeah.
level.
Because
You know what I think all that deal was? I think Martin and Cole, because of Cole's demeanor,
Okay,
low key.
Very
Canadian.
low key.
low key,
Canadian, yeah.
but when he speaks,
Mhm.
it ain't no bullshit.
Right, exactly.
Okay?
You know what he's saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Martin bought into it,
Good.
and you know, I mean, for me, like I said, Todd Berry's one of my best friends.
and I respect Todd
And Cole
to no
Pern,
end.
Cole Pern was Todd's engineer.
Yes,
For years.
absolutely.
And Todd's the one that brought Cole
And
up.
you know what we say about people is that sometimes it just takes a different person to make that driver have whatever the confidence or whatever he needed. You know, Todd Todd is a super smart guy.
Oh,
Todd,
very.
yeah, he's one of the smartest guys in the garage.
Yeah.
So
I would say the smartest.
Oh, I won't disagree with that.
Okay.
But whatever Cole and Martin did. Just,
Well, now Martin took Cole
gelled.
fishing. Martin took Cole fishing,
Okay.
so he caught his first fish.
Okay.
So that's huge for a man to catch his first fish.
Right.
So maybe that had something
And being
to do
from Canada, you'd have thought he caught a
Bunch of fish up there.
Right.
Jeez, there's tons of them. I've been to Canada. All kinds of things.
Right.
Fish up
There's
there.
all kinds of fish up
All right, so now you're part of this. And
All right, anyway.
spotting with you're with Martin
Yeah.
Truex, and you're coming down the championship race, and you're the eyes in the sky. And what's the pressure like when you go? There's you and 3 other guys. You go to Homestead. One of you's got to come out of it. Go home.
This is his second.
What?
What year? How many years had he been at Furniture Row?
7. Oh, no. The 5.
Five.
You're talking about
Five,
Martin.
yeah.
That was our 5th year.
Fifth year.
year.
Okay.
Okay.
So you go to that race, and you have to guide him to victory.
I knew we were going to win it.
You did. How?
Yeah.
How?
We were that good.
You're that good, that confident.
Yes.
And it's not the first time he's won a championship at Homestead. He did it in the Busch Series too.
Didn't know that.
I remember because I was PR guy at the time.
Okay.
He crashed the primary car, and we pulled out the backup. And I walked up and I go, "Really? Championship race?" He goes, "That's all he did." He goes, "I go."
Well, I can see
He had that easy going attitude,
Yeah.
so I was like, "Well, if he's fine with it, I'm fine with it." Yeah.
You know,
So we did that, yeah.
going into Homestead in 2017 was. You just, when you know it, you know
Yeah.
when you know, and then we walked in that race.
You guys were very dominant all year.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
had 9 wins. I think it was 9.
Right.
And it's just that we walked in there going, they can't beat us.
Right.
Good. You
There's
have the attitude.
nobody going to beat us. But you got to realize that Furniture Row group that Cole had put together. God, we were a family. I mean, we every Saturday night we went to eat together. We went out
Yeah,
together.
you did your own thing. That's good.
We were a team. We were a family.
True sense of a team.
We were a family.
Right.
We were like I mean, it's
You
like
had each other's backs, and I think this is where some of the bigger teams missed the boat, because you guys only have to take care of that group of guys.
Right.
You don't have to worry about this guy and this guy and this team. You're worried about one car.
Mhm.
You're worried about one group of people, and you don't have to worry about someone getting upset because someone got wrecked and someone.
So in a teammate situation, you're it. You're all you
But,
have.
but this group of guys that Cole, is Cole, Blake, Tommy, Nick.
Right.
I mean, James was on the 77.
He was.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, we would
Yeah.
we would go out and have dinner. We'd come back to the motel and we'd hug each other and tell each other we loved each other. I mean, it was like that's the way we were. We were
See, I'm missing the
a
boat.
group.
That was a two-car team.
Yeah,
for that,
77 was
for that one
One
year.
year.
We had God, he's at Gibbs now on Xfinity. Chris Gale was crew chief.
Okay,
and James
right.
was his engineer.
Yeah.
But wasn't that you guys were done? You guys knew that it was ending, though, didn't you? Right?
Not that year. It was
Not that year?
And
The championship year?
18's when it.
The championship year.
17's when we won championship.
Yeah,
18 is when
18 is
Barney.
Right.
Instead,
Yeah. Yeah.
which had to be
Devastating.
Davidson, because you just call it. That's right. It was the year after. So you come off a championship, and the next year you're
18 is when they got the bill, and they said, "What?
you're
What?
done. Yeah.
We're gonna do what?
Right.
Yeah. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out."
Yeah, that was the saddest.
Toyota and this guy wants what? No.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna go back to building furniture.
So here's a fun question for you. Dan Lynch says, "How many stage wins do you have?" Totally impossible to even
Lord.
gauge. You couldn't
Yeah.
gauge that, could you?
Yeah.
You couldn't. I think
Dan Lynch.
Sorry, Dan, I don't know that.
but we appreciate you asking the question.
but
Just say more than this.
I have led laps in trucks, Xfinity, and
Okay.
Cup.
So
Thanks to my truck driver. My truck driver took care of me last year. We led 16 laps at Talladega, so I can say I led a truck race.
Good team. Spot for besides, I mean, what people don't know is they think, oh, he just spots for that team. But now it's more and more spotter. How do I say this?
Well,
they're expanded. A lot of them. There probably is only 40 spotters.
So you can be,
right. But I mean, guys are all spotting for everybody else, right?
Right. Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
There's a few of us that trickle in from other stuff to do, Xfinity and trucks, whatever.
Because I know a lot of the other spotters that do the 3 series.
Yeah. Well, when COVID happened, for me, I did not do trucks, and it was because they started like at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and we had practice at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and it's like, if it gets rain or delayed, you're in a bind here.
Right.
You're tired of
it. And but so when COVID come along, I was like, dang on, I need to find a truck to spot. And
Stevie,
which is one of my best friends. And
Steve.
Driver turned
Steve, if you're watching this, bud, hell yeah, damn right, I'm proud of you.
Steve.
Driver turned spotter,
Me and Stevie are probably the closest friends there is on the spotter stand. And I called Stevie, I'm like, hey dude, this COVID stuff, we can't go inside. You know anybody needing a spotter for a truck?
Right.
And he's like, for Joe Cobb needs a spotter. And I was like, well, get me in touch with her, whatever we got to do here. So I called Jen up, and I'm like, hey, Martin Truex Jr. spotter, don't have anything going on. Would you you need a spotter? And she was like, yeah. So it's funny, the first 2 races, never even saw the girl.
Oh, because you couldn't get down to the garage.
Right.
Because of COVID, you were...
You got to be separated.
So show up, I'm at Pocono. I think the second race was Kentucky, maybe? Yeah. And, I mean, I'd never... Other than a picture on the computer, that's all I knew.
Right.
And,
but, I mean, she put a lot of faith in you.
Yeah. Just give me the truck number, I got this.
The thing I like about Jen, she got that pink spoiler.
It's perfect.
Like, boom, yeah, she got the pink spoiler.
You're the only one out there,
Through the binoculars, I was able to find her. But, yeah, and then there's 2 words I really hate saying is underdog and underfunded. But
underfunded.
We're going to go with it.
Okay, underfunded.
Jen's team, she's fighting against truck teams that's got $3 and $4 million.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
How the hell do you do that?
You
know what I'm saying?
How do you compete?
Exactly.
Right.
And she does one hell of a job. I mean, I guarantee you right now, you put her in a KBM truck and she's going to whack somebody's ass.
Right.
Wow. She's going to win, and she's going to take the checker flag and piss a lot of people off.
She's a past guest on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've had her on before.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I always told her if I win $100 million, I'm giving her $2 million and say, here, just have a great year.
I would say it like this: as soon as when I hang up the whole Penske thing, I want to start a business that helps underfunded teams with their aerodynamics,
right?
And get a group of them together, and do it like that, because I've been with the big teams. I know how they do it. It's because of their strength in numbers. If you can get a group of trucks that are, if you get 5 trucks that are running in let's say the back, and you fix them all, if they got good drivers,
right? Aerodynamic. That's what it's about.
That's what I say. That's my retirement plan. I'll say it like that.
So then on Xfinity, I spot for Jesse Little.
Okay.
In the 78, BJ McLeod.
Okay, good. That's right. Yeah.
And same deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Underfunded.
This weekend at the road course race,
that had to keep you busy.
Jen's truck,
track bar.
She had a track bar.
I read that today.
Yeah, and I mean, it
She
just
explained it. That's all right.
just
Makes
you know,
it tough.
They just I mean,
Yeah, but she stayed up
you
there.
don't until you get back to the shop.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know.
Well, that's the thing I like about no practice, because you're just, here you go. You better have it ready.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you have one
and-
practice, even if it's like a half hour.
So
But you know,
can't find
unfortunately, when you're underfunded or underdogged,
right.
staffed, and you don't have the you don't always have the quality people that can make sure this stuff isn't going to happen.
Or,
Okay, let's just look at it like this. Let's call aces, spades, spades.
Right.
Okay. So the '99 truck. This won the last 2 races.
Yep.
no,
How many employees you think work on that truck?
5,
Well, on the truck itself or at the shop.
12. 12 at the shop. Go ahead.
Okay, 12 at the shop.
Sure.
Okay, I'll give you that number.
That's fine.
She got 3.
Right, I know, and she still is out there. Tenured.
And she out-qualified KBM
Yes, I saw that. I was
and
kind of
outrun
Yes.
KBM
Yeah.
Yes.
in the Daytona
yeah.
big track.
I think 17.
It's pretty damn
17?
impressive.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. No, I'm always I watch and I have that
So-
NASCAR scanner thing.
So then you go to the Xfinity side. So you go to BJ's shop. There's 12 people walking around.
Right.
12 people in there working.
Right.
He finished 14th.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
I mean,
it's not how many,
right,
it's how
right.
you do. Exactly.
Yeah.
it's
It
sometimes
It's 400 at Penske. You know what I mean? It's so-
564 when I started at Gibbs.
Yeah. So it's like what
You know,
you're-
at Furniture Row, we had 54,
Yeah, there's strength.
and we won the
There's
championship.
strength
Right.
in numbers.
Yeah.
We all know that. You know.
So David Nichols says about your helping the others. Warren, let's call it the update group. That's
Update day.
Mule, yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mule.
So, but we can even go and being
Go ahead.
okay. I'm gonna do it.
Do it. Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
So you got Penske
Yes.
Oh, it's right there.
at Daytona 500.
Yep.
22's leading,
Yep.
2 second,
Yep.
34's third.
Yep.
How much money is the 22 got? How much money
Just-
does the 2
just
got?
More.
I
than-
know what the 34's
Okay,
got.
so without going to numbers, save everybody will say it was good. And at the
How
end- at
big
the
was
end,
that?
It was big.
it's huge. I mean, America loved it because it was nothing against Penske.
There's your
They're like,
underdog.
there's your underdog.
undefeated.
America's story.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you a question. You brought up. You see those guys split the medal. They go where they wreck, and here's your guy coming through. At that moment, as you're going to turn 3, what did you say to him at that time?
Well, I knew with 4 to go we were going to win.
Can you pick my lotto numbers?
I will.
Here's
Here's the reason I said it. Here's
Okay,
the reason I
I
said
want you
it.
to make a statement, and I got a statement to make about
The
something.
reason I said
Yeah.
with 4 to go we're going to win, well, first of all, with 12 to go, I was like, how are we going to get the 41 and the 4 out of our line?
Okay.
Because I want to be third.
Right.
We followed Brad everywhere but the restroom. The whole race.
Got it. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And that was our plan.
Okay.
Coleman Presley, real good friend of mine.
Yep.
And he
I
is
went down there.
Great guy.
Brad Spot,
Unbelievable guy.
Robert Presley's son.
Right.
Robert Presley's son.
who tried driving for a while, was very good at it.
I went down and told Coleman, I said, I don't give a damn where you go tonight. We're going to follow you
Okay. You got a
until we
plan.
come off of turn 4.
You were loyal.
What?
When we come off turn 4 for the black and white, game on.
Shit's on. Yep.
Okay? And that was our plan. And Brad was so, God, he's good. God, that boy's good. Oh my
Still hasn't
God.
won
Him
a
and
500.
Joey are so
They're both really
damn good at
Yes.
that. And I have learned so much from watching them and studying them on SMT that I knew the way Brad kept backing the line up, that we got the 41 out of line. He backed us up again. We got the 4 out of line. Now we're sitting there third. And I'm sitting there going, we're going to win this race. Because you know why?
Why?
Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski don't finish second.
Right. No. The two of them.
They don't finish second.
here-
Before you make your statement,
You know what I'm
I know,
saying?
But I want to know, you as the spotter, you've never won a Daytona 500. Your driver, not even in the hunt, was it 100 to 1?
He
100 to
actually
1.
finished third though.
Yeah.
2
But
years
he,
ago.
of his top 5s, all 3 of them.
He's a great speedway racer.
So they split and off you go, and you say to him what? What'd
The
you say?
first thing is when I seen the 22 go
Said
down,
clear,
the 2
drive
go
away.
up,
Right.
I was like, here comes the 9, block him up, because the 9 was still coming.
Right.
And we blocked him, and I seen the yellow light.
Right.
So I knew, but I was like, push that son of a bitch through the firewall, buddy.
Just
We're
to make
going to
sure.
get back to
Just
this.
to make sure.
I want to get back to this line over
Just
here
to
where
make
the
sure.
black and white's waving. You know?
What
And,
was your emotions? Do you remember? Because that's the Daytona 500. Come on, Clay, you had it.
First of all the spotters that were
Sure.
coming
Yeah.
up. I mean, I went through a lot of shit this past
I
year.
know, I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we did.
Everyone in the sport does.
You got a lot of good. You got a lot of good credit and congratulations from your peers. That's what
True.
you want to say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got a lot of this from Joey Myers and from Stevie Reeves and
I had a lot of. Well, there wasn't many left up there. 'Cause most of them crashed out.
it's like 14.
Most of them crashed out on like 15.
Oh yeah, that was
But,
awful.
you know,
I'm at the Cracker Barrel. Nice job, buddy.
You know, I mean, the ones that it was kind of.
Nice.
So all the Chevrolet spotters went to another spotter stand.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
And the Toyota spotters all went down to the one on
So
the
you guys are
end.
even integrating.
So it was
like
just
that.
us, it was just us Ford boys down on the end, and I had Fido
Fido,
and
Driver
Andy
turn spot.
Houston.
oh yeah,
Driver turn spotter.
Houston.
You know, all
Yeah.
of them, they
Love
coming
them to
up.
death.
They were
Yeah.
coming up. I mean, you picking me up, bear hugging, and
That's good.
and you know, I mean,
That's good.
that's why we do that.
That's why that means they
Yeah.
respect you,
That's why we do.
and they
this.
know they knew it
But
meant a
they
lot.
know, but everybody on the spotter stand knew what I had been through from Joe Gibbs Racing.
Right.
Right.
Why you had a different shirt on all of a sudden?
Right. It wasn't by my choice.
Right. And it didn't
You
end the
know.
way you wanted to. But there you go as a Daytona 500 champion.
It was like,
I like that song.
you're gonna put that in where?
Daytona.
Jeez, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And you're in the
and-
playoffs.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you that.
Who would have thought we would have started off 2021?
I love it.
2 first-time winners.
I love it.
It shows.
Me and Stevie, I was talking to him yesterday, and we were
Who's he
like,
spot for now?
Christopher
Oh,
Ball.
never mind. I didn't know the spotters yet.
I'm like, Stevie, who in the world?
Nobody.
If we would have known this, we
Yeah.
could have went to Vegas and made a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was 100 to 1. I mean,
For
I'm
us,
just saying.
66 to 1 for Bale.
Yeah, but still, now it's like, now if I'm Vegas, I'm going, okay, we're getting hoodwinked here. Who do we have to watch this week? We go to home.
Yeah, but who got it on him?
Well, that's somebody.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But it's
the
just,
casino's probably going, ha ha, we got all your money.
but we do have this gambling thing, so
Yeah.
we don't
Right, you
bet.
can't
no,
bet.
no,
We don't bet.
you guys can't, but people out there
Like
can.
17 years ago, I bet on John Andretti because he was 70 to 1, and we had a really, really good card.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I remember I bet, years ago in Vegas, and Sterling Marlin, he won me like 80
So I got to say this to you
Go ahead.
about
This is
what
from-
I wanted to say.
Penske guy, yeah.
And this ain't a Penske statement.
Okay,
It's a
this is one.
DI statement.
Oh.
Michael Waltrip and Dale Jr. never wrecked each other. And do you know why?
Because they work together.
Because they had a plan.
Right.
And
they
they stuck to it.
Right.
And that's all. I'm done. Now I won't say it.
How many speedway races did we
A
win
lot.
with those? Thank you very much.
And their plan was
Right.
where they were going and
Right.
whose turn it was.
Whatever.
But the deal with Joey and Brad, Brad back. Joey kept Yeah, you can lock up. But Joey kept backing us up.
Yes.
And slowing
He'll
us
slow you
down.
down.
He was slowing the line down
Yes.
so damn bad that I'm sorry, but damn Joey, you can't do that.
Right.
And then Brad up, and then finally, when the 3 went down to block the 4, and we had the 9 behind us, I backed Michael up
Yep.
to get the 9 locked onto us. So I knew we had 50 more horsepower
So-
than everybody else.
So when you watch these races, it's looking like you definitely don't want to be in first.
No.
No,
And
P3.
you want to be in third,
Fourth.
maybe in fourth.
Maybe fifth.
I think that's too far.
Maybe that's too
I
far.
think that's
The
too
track's
far.
only going to go 3
I
miles.
like 3.
Right.
I like P3
Yeah.
because you're kind of in control of the guy. The guy in leading, he's got to slow down. Otherwise, if he
Right.
gets too far ahead, the 2 and 3 are going to drive right by.
Well, see, that's what happened when Joey backed the 4 down
Yeah.
so much, and we got onto the 2 bumper.
And you just
he had no damn choice.
No, he's got to go.
You know, and then when we backed the 9 up, and when we got back to the 2, Brad had no choice but to
Right.
go or do something.
I probably watched the replay of that probably 25 times
Right.
just to make sure I was seeing what I was seeing. Because, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but them two really didn't wreck each other. Brad had nowhere to go because he was getting.
We were pushing.
You were pushing the shit out of him.
The white flag's out, boys. Let's
Right.
go. Yeah.
But it's Daytona
No, it's
500.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
that's it.
Anyways,
I'll wreck my mama for Daytona 500.
we all would. Sorry, Mom.
You know, the thing is,
I remember. This is
I-
some awesome insight
I
that we're getting here
studied.
right now. This is good. What is that?
Yeah.
Say? Tell people what it.
The dark fish and the pull up and what they're doing with the throttle
Right,
trace
right.
and
So
all that.
that's something, you know, the
I spend
technology.
4 to 5 hours a week
Yeah,
studying the next race,
good, because you know, then you watch for tendencies.
and it, you know, so you got miles per hour, you got RPM, you got throttle, you got brake, you got delta,
Yeah.
you got it's all on there.
and they're lying.
Which to a spotter don't mean.
Well, no,
Right.
but now
But what
actually-
I watch is the throttle and brake.
right, and even going to Homestead. So for our fans, real quick, I'm gonna help Clayton out here. For our fans, real quick, he's watching this because now even we're somewhat drafting and using a braking and trail braking at Homestead. So he's got to watch this for the Homestead race because it's not just wide open and off the gas and on the brake.
Right.
He's got to watch some of the drafting stuff for that, so he knows how to tell his guy how he can pull up. You know, it's not just for Daytona or Talladega.
But I do this with all my drivers.
Okay.
So I want the driver, what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing, and I want their. I don't want it at the track on the radio. I
No,
want it
it's
in
too
the
late,
I want
right?
it in the office.
Yeah.
So like for Daytona, me and Michael spent 2.5 hours studying SMT.
And that was the first time you guys worked together.
First time. And it's so funny, Michael pulls up this thing, he said, spot that car right there. Tell me what you're going to tell that car. Okay. And I did. He went, the first thing he looked over and he went, damn.
Good.
And he's like, I've never heard them words. And it ain't a slam to his other spotters. I watch all this stuff and I just study it. I mean, I do my homework. You know, I listen to TJ Majors. I listen to Colin Presley.
Right.
I listen to Joey and Brad when it comes to Super
It's
Speedway.
very involved for what you
And
do.
I listen to what
Yeah.
they're saying and I make notes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I sit down, I'm like, buddy, this is what, when we get to this is what is going to happen, and this is what I'm going to tell you. And when I tell you, hey, just like the road course, we spent an hour on it. And I was like, during the race the other day, I mean, that was a hell of a race because we started second, supposedly had a flat tire as we come to the green flag,
Right.
and drove it back to 8. But I would tell
That's
you,
not very nice.
Top 10.
And you're in the
Good.
chase and you're in the points.
Right.
and I told Michael, sir, what you showed me.
Right.
You know, he
Yeah.
showed me on film what he learned, and I'm like, remember what you showed me? And
He was,
Bro,
He's actually a hell of a road course
he's a
driver.
good road.
as soon as I
Yeah.
would say that to him, he changed his line and went to what he showed me.
Okay.
And so I just think that feeling of a spotter driver, God, I don't want to say love affair, but
It's a relationship, but you guys have to be in tune.
Call it a
marriage.
a
Relationship. Man crush.
man crush.
But
you know what I mean?
you have to be in tune with each other because otherwise you're just up there mailing it in, and he can tell him, the team can tell him, you're just not going through the motion. What you've been doing because you've been doing it so long.
Well, and now they won,
Now they won.
and now it's going to be even better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you got, because you guys won, you know that relationship's going to be
Right.
even better.
Right.
He's in that car like
I have 2 top 10s. I have 2 top 10s 2 weeks in a row.
right.
and a top 5 and a top 7. Good.
And a happy driver
Is a
fast driver.
Is a happy team
Right.
too. Right.
Yeah, well, this team, I mean, from the owner all the way down, Bob Jenkins Wednesday, he come in for our lunch, and then, I mean, he was so excited. Then, you know, you got Jerry Freeze, what a nice guy.
General
I mean,
manager.
that guy's worked his guts out.
Yeah,
He's the super, super, super nice guy. And then you got Drew. Me and Drew worked
Like his
together
driver,
yeah.
at Ultra Motorsports.
I know Drew since he's been a tire changer.
Yeah, he was a tire changer. I was a gas man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm like, you know, Drew.
Yeah.
Me and Drew are like
Good.
tight,
'Cause you had that
tight.
yeah, the back.
And now I think, you know, me and Michael are on the same page.
Drew is the epitome of this.
You know what Drew is?
He's done the high because he.
Now, you know what Drew is?
He's a worker. He's a
Drew is a little Dale Inman.
I'll take
That's
that.
a good
I'm
comparison.
good with that because
Wow.
Drew's work ethic is
Just like me.
it beyond anybody else's I know.
Oh,
Like Dale
give
Inman.
invaders.
Cracking.
That's exactly. So hey, you know what? We're gonna at the top of the hour. Here. Clayton, thank you so much, man. You have been absolutely awesome.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
My
on
pleasure meeting
Thank
you.
you.
everything. I have so much. I enjoyed this and your stories. You work for Hall of Famers, and now you have you finally have your own Daytona 500 ring. That's amazing.
You know,
That's great. I mean,
It is great. It is great.
It is.
40 after this long.
40.
I mean, he's got a couple of championships.
Well, we didn't get into the whole deal about being let go at Gibbs.
No, we did not. We
Which
don't
is
have
fine.
to.
We
Which
don't
is
have
fine.
to.
That's all right.
We all get let
We've
go.
all been let go.
You know what it does to us?
Makes
you know
you
what
happy,
happens?
strong.
They let you go. You know what happened?
You win the
You win
500.
the Daytona 500.
Come on.
That's good. Thank you.
So,
Appreciate it.
Thank
All right,
you, everybody.
Thank you, RacingJunk.com. Quite a big one. RacingJunk.com. Lake North Band Game Rooms, the Garage Shop, everything. Thank you so much, everybody. 1 year. Thanks to all of you, and we'll see you next week. Billy Wilburn's on.
Good dude.
Good dude.
Good
Great
guy.
story.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
That's it. Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick. Thanks, everybody.
Wow.
Hey, another great show.
Great
Thank
show.
you so much, everybody,
Yep.
for tuning
Enjoyed
in.
it.
We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night, and Warren, I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
We're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
that's it. And it's just a fun show. Bucket of beer, guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people, and we will see you next week, right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.